Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so as you can see, we're back out here in the Sorrowdusk Isle. So for these next parts, we do just got to make
In the
sure that we
hollows of the
talk
north
to
waits
Ruku.
Uku, elder
Um,
of the Grey
he is
Moon
who we
tribe.
turned into, so that's probably when I talked to him there. From there, he gives you quests. So instead of heading off to the left side or the western side here, this time we are headed over to this one, which is off on the right. I do like that these quest doors now show up whether or not you know where to go or how to get to them, but that they at least show up on the blackened map now, giving you kind of like a beacon way it's over here. Alright, so it is a little bit of a run to the quest, not too far. At this little pillar set here, we do have some hellhounds that spawn in. And off to the, if you go to the right through that little den, there's a possible named enemy out here in for the Slayer. I am just gonna skip that though, but there can be a named enemy spawning in that cave to our south. Okay, so at this part here, again there can be named. You kind of want to hug the right wall, and that'll circle you around enough to be able to get to your next quest here.
To the south lies the entrance to the caves of the Grey Moon Ogre clan, driven out by trolls.
Okay, so here we are. And just like
You
the
have come
others,
to
like
the
each
den of
one
the Grey
kind
Moon
of end up having
tribe.
to go in twice.
Struggler everywhere.
So just
Stinking
remember that you
trolls
will be
picking at
back
your
in
flesh.
here for another part. Okay. So our objective is to kill the trolls, though there are 8 additional ogres here that we can also kill. In order to get the ogres, we do got to go down all these side paths. The trolls, though, they are just along the way, and the direction that we need to go anyway. Just enough through the door. Okay.
You hear heavy breathing and gentle laughter. Leading ogre collaborators are ahead.
So yeah, at this part, I always, I'm usually a ranged character, but I'll always range because there's just so many ogres up top that I don't want to deal with. Now this path off to the west here, um, does have some ooze, though every now and then it can actually also have a named or an optional giant to kill. So it is worth just taking a look to see whether or not you got that optional, considering it is so close. And I mean, ultimately, named enemies are the oozes are not that difficult to take out there. The complete opposite on the far eastern side, we have another door. This one just has some of the troll conspirators, as well as, I believe, a troll as well. Yeah. So 2 trolls and 1 conspirator.
Ogre collaborators are no more. Grey Moon's honor is avenged.
Alright, from here, we do want to go up. And then there will be another ladder heading up again. Oh, no, wrong quest. That was the other one we did out here. Alright. So this one here just has a tunnel going north with a bunch of scorpions here.
Eyes reek of trolls
There
will
are
make you
a
wretch.
few scorpions, so just watch yourself. And one thing to point out is these walls here, they can't actually get up on top of. So if you are able to get up here, you do have a little bit of a safe spot from the scorpions, or at least at the time of filming this video, it's a safe spot. But generally speaking, they're not too difficult to deal with. Especially if you are in a group. Alright, so if we continue heading west here, we have a shrine here, as you can see from behind the door. And if we head just a little north, we have a locked door. Now, on the other side of this door, there is an enemy. Oh, wrong thing I wanted to click. Here we are. Okay, so there maybe isn't. But there definitely is a trap. The trap is at the chest here. Now, the trick to getting it without, even if you don't have a trapper or somebody able to get the trap, as you can see, if you're standing on this wood here, um, you can safely open up the chest without any risk of being pincered. But of course, we're gonna unlock, or we're gonna disable the trap. Alright. Alright, so this next part really does help if you have a trapper or multiple people in the quest itself. Because though we can fight Hammer Fist here and drag him through the trap. Oh, and we got the named. Cool. Alright, so though we can fight and kill Hammer Fist and drag him through the trap, the doors on either side up top here do not open up. I'm just going to come up here and show you. They are closed and they do not open until we run to the other side of that bridge. Sometimes you can get that Winter Wolf rare, which will spawn in an extra chest there, but that's not guaranteed. Now the best way to get through this, if you have anybody with Long Strider, Haste, or anything like that, the trick is to just run. They are on a slight delay, so if you kind of hug one side and just run it, like right down the center, actually preferably, you have the best chance of just not getting hit. Just like that, and then once you get to the end, they do have a control panel. As well, when you get to the end, it opens up the doors on both sides there. So the troll from the right or the western side door there, he comes running right at you immediately. The other one actually stays up top, so you do need to go up top there to kill him. And sometimes, as you see, he can be a optional. Now, I want to point out, the moment you kill him, that is it. It is quest complete. So, just be aware of that. And from here, all that's left is to obviously collect our loot, and then to recall, run back to Baruku at the start of this area. Some people, myself included, find it faster to just recall twice, which will put us back on the ship, and then just step right back out. It's generally quicker than running all the way there, running all the way back. So that's it for this part of Sorrowdusk. I just want to check one thing here. And yeah, so then we're going to do the second part here as well. But that's it for this, obviously, that quest. So we'll run back and talk to Bruku, and then he's gonna send us right back to that same dungeon there.
In the hollow to the north
Um,
waits Buku, elder of the
Another
Grey
trick
Moon
actually that
Tribe.
works really well is if you have somebody with Dimension Door, the spell. Uh, when you exit that quest, that will be where the Dimension Door will teleport you to, because that's where you entered in the Slayer area. So if you run from there all the way up to Bruku and talk to him, and then cast a Dimension Door, it would port you all the way back to that area. Now, an interesting thing with Dimension Door, it teleports you to where you entered the area. So if you have a friend who entered from the ship and they take your deed door, it would port them back to where they entered in at the ship. So that was something interesting that I had learned. I was actually running this with a friend of mine, and I was the caster, not knowing, thinking it would just go to where I had placed the teleport. I entered the area here. This is where it's going to teleport you to, but it just takes you back to wherever you specifically have entered in the instance. Okay, so this one here
To the south
is
lies
going to
the
be
entrance to the caves of
basically
the
the same
Grey
thing.
Moon Ogre Clan,
Obviously, the quest is set
driven
up the
out
same,
by
though we'll be able to
trolls.
proceed a little bit further in after we complete the bridge section there.
The stink of trolls lingers in the air. Buku was right. You didn't kill them all the first
Alright,
time.
so I'm gonna check behind the doors again. As you see, there is nothing here, but some breakables. This time we are able to get the full breakable bonus as we're able to get to the end. So you're looking for that little bit extra. Again, with the amount of experience that it is awarding, just under 5,000. Typically speaking, myself included, I don't go for these breakables for the simple fact that it's overly not worth it. So what I'm actually gonna do here is I'm gonna hop into these rooms here as well. One downside of Ooze's splitting in Hun Reaper difficulty is the mass exodus of the Reapers you spawn in. Just so many of them. Alright, so just two hopper poker head in here. So as you can see, up to this point, there are no trolls, and I do believe they don't start spawning in until we get to about that bridge, if I remember correctly. Though again, it has been quite some time since I've run these quests. Partially due to the fact that they're, fairly out of the way. The fact that every 2 levels, like, it changes the quest level, making it really hard to, like, rather than constantly coming out here and such, and then finally just the amount of experience that they're worth, they're really not worth a lot of experience. I am still gonna poke my head in here for the trap. This time I am gonna ignore the chest of loot though. Alright, so yeah, it's not until we get to the bridge where we start running into our first bit of trolls. Alright,
The
and
gates
just
on the
like
far
before, you
side
want to
of this
run
chase
right to the
are
very
secure.
end.
You can hear faint snarling from the darkness beyond.
Now that named wolf can actually also spawn in on this one as well. Same location here. Alright. And I just want to double check up these paths here as well, just to make sure there are no trolls hiding, which there does not look to be. One thing I do want to point out, if you happen to fall, unless you have access to Dimension Door, you are stuck down there. The only way is to die and then to release out. So I definitely recommend not falling. You know, if at all possible. Okay, so we got some. Alright, so here we
You'll
have
have to
a
search for a way to lower
drawbridge
the drawbridge.
and
The
a
chasm is
ladder up.
too wide to
So
jump.
right at the top, we're gonna have some trolls already smacking us here. And apparently a Fear Reaper as well. And in here, on this side, there really isn't much other than the collectible there. But hey, collectibles. The levers that with the runes that we need are just inside here. So there's, as you can see, a couple trolls, and at the back of the room, our lever. Now this one lever
A rattling
will
sound
drop
greets
down the
you from the west.
drawbridge.
You have lowered the drawbridge.
Let's go back to these here. So just hopping down. And again, same thing here. If you fall off the bridge, you're stuck down there. Not the enemy I thought it was going to be. Alright. So now that we're at this section here, this is actually the final part of the quest. So as you see, we just got our conquest. This will be our last troll.
The presence of trolls
And
ogrish runes were carved into the
the
wall
boss
here,
himself
scratched into a lead
is actually going to
circle
be
by
at the
troll
top
claws.
near
Lord Hrad's former cave lies ahead.
that thing there. So you head up the ladder, and work your way around. However, before I do that, I always like to run around because it's like a giant, like circular column there, or circular platform. So I always like to run all the way around, as sometimes you can actually get a named enemy spawning in, which we got him. Now, as you see, not really worth a whole lot of experience, but it will also fill up your monster manual, which is really awesome. Alright, so we're just gonna head up the ladders.
Your party has reached the deepest part of
And
the
here's the
Grey Moon
boss.
Cave.
Once he's dead, that's it.
You'll hatred frozen on his face.
So again, as
Guards
you
the
see,
fool goes
just
to his dark
just under 7,000. And for the amount of time it takes, 7 minutes, I mean, it's not terrible experience, but it's all the running around between each part that really puts a damper on, you know, like for example, myself running these quests. Like I don't find it worthwhile. At this point here, all that's left
To the
is
south
to
lies
again
the entrance to the
return
caves
to
of the
Bruku.
Grey Moon Ogre
So I'm actually going to leave it
driven
off
out by
here,
trolls.
and we'll talk to him in the next video. Luckily though, once we talk to him, he's actually going to be sending us to the northern half, which will do additional quests elsewhere. So we won't have to keep running to Bruku every time. it'll be somebody else further up that up north there. All right, anybody or everybody, not anybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.